implement and reallocate funds to needy areas in a timely manner. Management will also ensure that funds are disbursed in a timely manner. Appendix 2.5, main report, Chair. Total unspent funds administrative cost. Management wishes to acknowledge the audit finding on over expenditure of CDF administrative costs of 2,061,413 kwacha, translating into 135% above the available funds, and reports that the over expenditure was due to unexpected costs such as the following: ministerial circular which did not have a budget line for the period under review. Included in the 3,593,195 was the sum of 1,454,728, which was part of the funds mobbed by government on 31st March 2024. Therefore, the fund was treated as part of the administrative cost, and you may wish to refer to the table in the report, Chair. Action taken. Management wishes to report as follows. 1. CDFC committee was informed that there was an over expenditure as a result of ministerial circular, and the information was noted. Costs are being reviewed for regularization with the ministry, and the budget is being adjusted. 3. Requests for reimbursement were submitted to the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development and awaits for feedback. Remedial measures. Management wishes to report as follows. Management will improve budgeting planning, monitoring, and adhere to cost control procedure, and further management will conduct routine regular variance analysis. Appendix 3, Chair. Community projects. Our response. The observation of the Auditor General on 25 work in progress and 4 outstanding projects during the year under review is acknowledged, and we wish to report that the cause of query and action taken is shown in the table. Owing to the fact that these are projects or work in progress projects, Chair, allow me to go to the table, but just concentrate on the action taken. On number 1, Chair, in the table, the project has since been completed. On number 2, the project has also been completed. On number 3, the project is ongoing and 45%, and at 45%, the borehole has been drilled and awaiting civil works. On number 4, the project is ongoing and at 30% complete, with the tank stand and tank delivered to site. On number 5, the project has since been completed with the construction within the contractual time frame. And those under 2024, number 1, the project is at 98%, awaiting finalization of instruction issued to the contractor. And number 2, the project is at 98%, awaiting finalization of instruction issued to the contractor. And number 3, the project is at 98%, awaiting finalization of instruction issued to the contractor. And number 4, the project is at 80% complete. The borehole has been drilled, and the pipes and tank stand have been installed. On number 5, the project is at 80% complete. Borehole, pipes, and tank stand have been installed. Number 6, the project is at 45% complete. Borehole has been drilled. Number 7, the project is at 45% complete. Civil works are underway and borehole has been drilled. On number 8, the project was completed within contractual time frame. Then number 9, the project is at 80% complete with the borehole drilled, tank stand and tank installed, and civil works currently in progress. On number 10, the project is at 65% complete with the project current above ring beam. On number 11, the project is at 55% complete. The non-performance of the contractor has led to the termination of the contract. Then number 12, The ambulance has been procured and delivered. On number 13, the desks have been procured and delivered within the contractual time frame. Number 14, the funds have been topped up and the project has been completed. Number 15, the equipment was procured and delivered within the contractual time frame. Number 16, the project was completed within the contractual time frame. And number 17, the project is at 55% complete. The non-performance of the contractor has led to the termination of contract. 18, the project is at 55% complete. Delay was as a result of the roads being impassable. 19, the project was completed within the contractual time frame. And number 20, the roller compactor has been procured and delivered within the contractual time frame. And on outstanding projects, Chair, you may wish to note that these were funds that were not utilized in 2023 and were reallocated to new projects, Chair. The action taken, number 1, the project was completed within the contractual time frame. And then under 2024, number 1, the funds have been topped up and the project has been completed. And number 2, the motorbikes have been procured and delivered. Number 3, the project is 40% complete with the project currently above window level and within the contractual time frame. Further, management wishes to submit that 11 projects out of the 25 projects that were works in projects have since been completed and handed over. 14 work in progress projects are under implementation. The 3 projects from the 4 outstanding projects have since been completed. Number 3, as indicated above, the remaining 15 projects are under implementation. Remedial measures, management will always adhere to complete projects within the contracted period of time. Chair, allow me to go to Appendix 3.1. This time I wish to draw you to the addendum. Management wishes to acknowledge the audit findings on the costs of delivered desks amounting to 7,104,523 and the cost of undelivered desks amounting to 1,072,196. The balance was a result of savings made from the procurement of desks. Action taken. Management wishes to report as follows. The funds were reported to CDFC for variation and records have been updated. Verification process are being strengthened. Remedial measures, management wishes to report as follows. It will always endeavor to ensure accurate data capturing and record keeping, enhanced verification procedure, and regular reconciliation. Chair, allow me to proceed to come back to the main report and proceed to Appendix 6, Youth and Women Empowerment Grant Performance Analysis. Management acknowledges the audit observation and wishes to report that the under expenditure was as a result of funds that bounced back and were paid in 2025. However, we wish to report that upon review, the information on the opening balance of 2,080,992 kwacha and received funds of 574,998 as at 31st December 2024. Chair, allow me to make correction there where it is not accurate, needed to be readjusted. So I take you to page 19 where we have correct information or readjusted information. If that is accepted, Chair, the opening balance is 84,384.74 and received funds of 2,328,303 kwacha 79 ingwe, bring the total available funds of 2,412,693.53 ngwe, and under expenditure totaling 68,265 kwacha for the year under review. This amount was included in the MOPT funds. You may wish to refer to the report, Chair. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the amount of 68,265 has since been claimed and the ministry has responded. Remedial measures. Management will strengthen verification of beneficiary banking details prior to processing payments to minimize returned transactions. Additionally, the beneficiaries will be sensitized to ensure their records remain active at the time of payment. Appendix 7.2, failure to recover loans. Management wishes to acknowledge the audit findings on failure to recover loans amounting to 1,354,888 kwacha and report that the loans were not recovered due to lack of follow-ups, due to non-involvement of the guarantors in making sure that they help in following up with beneficiaries due to logistical challenges. Action taken. Management wishes to report as follows. Borrowers have been engaged for repayment. Recovery efforts are being intensified. The total amount of 473,978 kwacha has been recovered from the total disbursed of 3,607,587 kwacha to date. Remedial measures. Management wishes to report as follows. That management will endeavor to strengthen loan recovery procedures, regularly reviewing loan portfolios, and enhance borrower engagement. Appendix 8, Bursary performance analysis. Allow me to draw you to the addendum, Chair. Management wishes to acknowledge the audit finding on bursary expenditure and unspent funds as of 31st December 2024 of 5,136,020 kwacha and 2,856,038 kwacha respectively. Action taken. Management wishes to report as follows. The opening balance of 7,992,058 kwacha from 2023 was varied to community projects. Further, the 5,136,020 kwacha spent was from available funds in line with circular MLGRD/101/22/74. Remedial measures. Management will endeavor to adhere to ministerial guidance and update records in a timely manner. Chair, this ends my report. I submit.
Thank you very much, Council Secretary, for that submission. Honorable members, it's time for interaction with our council. Honorable member for Mufumbwe.
Chairperson, I've seen a very unique situation in LUNTE on page 7.
Page 7 of the main report?
Yes, main report indeed. The issue here is we've seen that in LUNTE, the loan component, the people of LUNTE didn't utilize the whole amount which was involved, and hence the unspent funds on the loans. Let alone, they decided to vary and put it on the community projects. the common thing which is there is that with other councils, you find that the loans are the first funds that are utilized, and they are utilized to the fullest. However, the uniqueness of LUNTE is that the people didn't actually get this. I don't know. What could have led to this, where people could not show that appreciation of these funds, which are revolving funds? What could have been the issue? Is it something to do with sensitization, that the uptake was low? What could have led to that? Maybe I can also give a follow-up.
Council Secretary, it's quite strange. You could be the first council in Zambia to have savings on loan account. Help us to understand what happened.
Thank you, Chair. Before I comment, I'll ask Director Planning to come in.
Director Planning?
Thank you so much, Chair, for the question. I think this is largely due to meeting requirements, because there are requirements that are enshrined for someone to qualify to get the loan amount. And I think we've been engaging the community on a number of, a couple of times now, so that we bridge this gap so that they're able to meet the requirements. Because once the CDFC sits, there's also the issue of vetting. So before we make recommendations to the bank, we also ensure that the preliminary requirements are met. So we
how has been the response? Tell us something. The response towards loan applications. You can give an example. I can give you, we started with 25 people in 2022. The number went to 90. The other year, went to 200 and something. This time, every time we advertise, we have over 300 applicants in Joseph. So how has been the situation in LUNTE? It's quite strange. You are the first council to make savings. Are people not applying for the loans? Or all of the people who have been applying, majority of them are not meeting the requirements? Help us, Director Planning.
Thank you so much, Chair. They've been applying for the loans, except those that meet the requirements. I think they've been getting. You've seen from the performance, there are a number of them that applied, and the funds were dispersed to their respective accounts.
Honorable for Mpumbwe.
Thank you. On the same one, if I may ask, from those that I can say, like you funded, is it 19 or 18? From when we look at okay, whatever the case, what is important is how many applicants or how many applications did you receive for the loans where you decided to come up with this number? We just want to see how they were coming up in terms of loan application. How many, first of all, could have applied? Do you have those records? If you don't have, then you say, no, we don't have them here.
Chair, for now, I don't have those records. And the number of applicants that we received. But largely, most of the applicants that qualified, I think we process the applications and refer to the bank for approval.
We want to appreciate. You have an overwhelming number of applicants. You take the list to the bank for them to appraise them. So it's the bank that drops them. Which bank is that?
Thank you, Chair. No, what I'm saying is it's not the bank that drops them. Before we send applications to the bank, we do our own desk appraisal and vetting as a CDFC committee. So when we receive applications from the community, if we find that there are gaps, we refer them first back to the clients, the applicants, to ensure that those gaps are filled in. So sometimes you'll find that time will pass and then you don't get a response from the applicants. Okay, so that forces other applicants to drop along the way, because there's that process. So when we receive an application, we don't reject it there and then. We refer it back to the clients to fill in the missing information, or maybe there could be missing documentation. Okay, and on that aspect, the response has not been good. They take long to maybe submit the missing documents. That's why I'm saying we are in the process of engaging them to ensure that this gap is bridged.
This is 2026. The enhanced CDF started in 2022. You have never sensitized the people. And won't you be accused by the people of LUNTE that you are segregative, just picking a few? Because to tell you the truth, this should be put on record. You are the first council to have savings from the loan allocation. People failing to get money, loans, then you take them to community projects. Because all the councils from 2022, if there's been a component that has been applied for overwhelmingly, is the loan component, not even grants. So for LUNTE, you are indicating, you are placing on record that for you, very few people qualify in LUNTE to get these loans. Hence, you have savings that you take to. We are not accusing you that you should force. No, but we want to learn and place it on record, because if the people of LUNTE discover that you've just been unfair to them, then it becomes another matter. So can you satisfy us by confirming CS that no, actually you have been doing your best? Because what happens in other councils, when the people apply, you go through, of course, you do is what you call desk appraisals, or then you take to the bank. The final vetting and the recommendation comes from the bank. They're the ones who say, no, these ones cannot, these ones have not satisfied us. So you are doing it at the office. The people you send to the bank, all of them are perfectly approved by yourselves. Is that the situation or the position?
Thank you, Chair, for the question and also for raising the concerns. What we can say as LUNTE Chair, we do agree with you, because we actually been making a lot of efforts to ensure that people are sensitized and they know the availability of these funds that can boost their socio-economic well-being. And we've actually been doing a lot of sensitization. I think this query also partly was there in the previous appearance before your committee, Chair, and we did show the reports and the engagement that we had undertaken with the community to just ensure that there was an uptake, increased uptake from the 2022, 2023, and the 2024. However, you might want to know, Chair, that LUNTE has no sitting bank. So our bank, basically, we use the bank in Luwingo. So when the applications are received, as the planner has indicated, and the process of desk appraisal is done, we submit those applications for those that have met the minimum requirement to the bank for vetting as per procedure. And so when the vetting is done and we are given information on the shortcomings, I must indicate, Chair, before I proceed, that we do not reject any applications. We just follow the guidelines to ensure that everyone has met the requirement. So for those that have not met a requirement, we do go back to engage them. However, when it comes now to paperwork, most of them, when we inform them that you have this missing and that missing and that missing, they do not come forward. So sometimes they take even 3-4 months, and time is running in that year. Because sometimes we have even made meetings where we have said, okay, we'll be coming in each ward to receive these requests that we have made, but very few responses. So we don't know where the dynamics are, but these are some of the situations that we get on the ground.
Okay, I'll allow Dr. Singombe, then the mover of the motion.
Chair, the President has directed that all local authorities should ensure that each constituency has a loans officer. Will I be wrong to insinuate that probably he decided that as a result of LUNTE, who are keeping huge sums of money while people are suffering? Will I be on terra firma if I said that?
Yeah, I agree with you, because this is strange. And the essence of these loans, they are at a minimum interest rate, fair. And the essence, the government, the position, the direction of government was that we empower our small-scale businessmen or businesses so that we uplift them. But if in LUNTE, out of all the councils, you have excess money, you do all the due diligence because you don't have the bank, won't you be accused, also, besides what he has asked, that some of the applicants are not just preferred, maybe they have their documents removed, they get... Because this is strange. And that's why the president maybe is thinking of bringing a loans officer so that his vision is actualized. But the vision of the president in terms of these empowerment loans is not being actualized in LUNTE. And this should make you start thinking of if people start, they go on the ground, they find out that actually the people want these loans. But what is wrong with the people of LUNTE that is not happening in Chasefu? Why LUNTE that they are failing to have papers when the same people in Chasefu, in Kashina Kaji, in Kikonge, the people are able to get the loans? In Kaumbwe, this is near Mozambique, they are able to do that. Why LUNTE? CS, this is a source of concern for you. We are just helping you because you bring interest of other stakeholders to check what is happening. And I don't want to start fearing for certain officers tomorrow being accused that they were ones frustrating and just picking those who are closer to them to be getting these loans. If that is the case, it will be very unfortunate. But we assume that this strange thing is genuine. Maybe you can answer that question. Is it the reason why the president is introducing loans officer?
Chair, I may not be aware of the reasons behind that because I'm not in that line of advisory to the president. However, Chair, I must indicate that one thing that you must know is that the council is very committed, and we have had several engagements with the community that can ably be verified just to ensure that the uptake of in terms of loan is increased. I think from 2022, it's just that we do not bring the data that show the progressive nature in terms of how we have increased from 2022 to date. However, there has been improvement.
Last one on this one.
Chair, that's why from my preamble I said this is very unique. I want to look back where I'm coming from. For the past maybe about 7 years that I worked as a loans officer, I have never seen such a thing happening. Because everywhere where there's a loan which has got a very small amount of interest attached to it, everyone would want to get it so that they can better their lives. I'm sure those are the intentions of this government, to make sure that the people of LUNTE can get the loans so that they can go and do a lot of businesses. However, I would like to encourage LUNTE to give us the progression so that they can tender some documents to this committee, which would show that indeed, from this scenario which happened, things have improved and the uptake is now improved. Then the last one is after these funds were varied, did LUNTE get the value for this money in terms of the community projects? Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, Chair, the value for money has been achieved. In one instance, some of the varied funds were allocated to construction of maternity annexes, which is actually in great need in our community due to the vastness of the areas and the spatially infrastructure in terms of health services. So actually we have achieved value for money.
How is the repayment rate or performance? Since you did due diligence and you picked cream de la cream, how is the recovery?
Chair, as you saw in our report, the recovery is not very good, I must indicate, because we can do better in terms of recovery, because out of approximately 3 million given, we only have recovered to date about 473,000. So we can still do better, the Chair.
Yeah, those are the questions that will come with the stringent scrutiny and the assessment or appraisals. You expect that the people you pick are those people who are credible, credit-worthy, that you don't have these problems. But on this side, you're not doing very well. On the recovery, they're not also paying. So this is contradicting the whole process. That I hope the people of LUNTE, they are listening and watching. We want them to be free to tell us what is making this process to be like this. Otherwise, we are concerned, because you are the first ever since 2022 to have. In 2022, yes, the uptake was a bit low, but from 2023, 2024, we saw the high demand for these loans, save for LUNTE Council. Next question. Dr. Mwanza.
Thank you, Chair. We go to page 1 of is a school construction 1x2 classroom block at Kawila. This project has since been completed, and just a few clarifications. Was on page 1, the accounts states that as at 30th September 2025, an amounts totaling 532,400 had been paid, leaving a balance of 216,403. The total contract sum was 748,803 kwacha. Yeah, but the balance, the amount paid to the contractor, 532,400, there's a contradictory amount in Appendix 1. The other amount is 552,200 kwacha. So, which figure do you want your committee to take? The 552,200 is from Appendix 1, on the technical report for the closure of the project. Report. The financial part on the third page is saying the financial progress. The contractor has been paid a total of 552,200 for the works done. That is after you completed the whole project. So now the final financial report. So which
Chair, allow me to ask Director Finance to come.
Director Finance.
All right, Chair, may I excuse me? Let me ask Director Engineering. Who did
Okay,
the closure
Director
report to
Engineering.
come in. Yes.
Thank you, Chair, for that question. I think from the main report, these funds, as of 31st September 2025, the contractor was paid 532,400. And at the point of closure of this project, the contractor had been paid a total sum of 552,000. This also indicates, Chair, that the contractor hasn't been fully paid in full. These funds are as of today. As at the point of preparation of this report, the contractor had been paid 552,200.
Dr. Manza.
was this report prepared?
When did you prepare this report?
Chair, this report was prepared on sorry, Chair. The closure report, Chair, was prepared in January.
So
Where
at
is
the
it?
closure, just before me, Dr. Manza, at the closure in January, how much was paid to this contractor? And do you have any evidence of the payment vouchers or transfers? What was the amount then? What was the final amount that you had paid?
The final amount that was paid is, as indicated, the 552,000. Unfortunately, Chair, I didn't come with any IPCs or vouchers to back up the same.
Dr. Manza?
Chair, the report, the closure, technical report for closure of the project, the Director Engineering says that the report was prepared in January.
Yes, Dr. Manza,
And
that's
yet,
what you said.
yes, and yet, as at 31st of which January? And where is the date anyway? Where are you taking the date from? From your report, where is the date?
Director?
Thank you, Chair. Actually, it's January of this year.
Where is the date on your report?
Fortunately, Chair, it's not noted on this report.
Next question.
Because it has implications on the financials. This report by the auditors, as at 30th September 2025, there was 532,400 that was paid to the contractor towards this contract. Then you come and write a technical report without a date. You claim there was the 552,200, meaning between September and the date of closure of the project, the contractor only produced an IPC worth 19,000 kwacha. That is the difference between your figure and what is stated on this.
How do you explain that, Director?
And yet, when I look at your, anyway, how do you explain that? Because you had finances, and how could a contractor submit an IPC for 19,000?
Director Engineering? Director, that is technical, it's yours. You want the CS to help you.
Thank you, Chair. So the IPCs that the contractor produced were more than the 19,000. But the time those IPCs were produced, we didn't have finances by then. So the contractor kept on using his own money, but pushing in claims.
Anyway, we want to continue to go to and back and forth, because I see from your budget and funding that in November you received 8 million. And these periods, these times that we are talking about, that 8 million was in your account. And you're saying that you had an IPC which had a higher value, more than, but you didn't have the funds to pay. Anyway, that the scope of work at Kawilo, or is it Kawilo or Kawila? Because there are two names. We see somewhere in this report is Kawilo. Then the other one is Kawila.
It's Kawilo somewhere.
The scope of water supply and sanitation, was it part of the project?
No, Chair. That one was a totally different contract.
Let's make progress.
The last question I have is over on
Speak up.
page
Joe.
4, community projects. Page 4, under community projects, you had 2,668,828 kwacha as the balance at the end of the fiscal year. Your explanation on page 5 is that this was due to local authority receiving 8 million on 29 November 2024, which was late in the financial year and limited the available time for full utilization of the funds. So maybe we would love that you explain further what this means, because you received the money on 8 million on November, and you are saying the balance is due to the English here. I don't understand what you really mean. Now you have given a schedule on Appendix 4 on how the funds were spent. So if we go to Appendix 4, there's a schedule of projects. First of all, the account statement. The account statement shows that there's 7,549,647 as balance.
Are we together?
Why?
Doc, let's give them an opportunity so that we are moving step by step. They are following what you're talking about.
Yes.
Director engineering or through the CS, director engineering, are you following that? Yes. Okay.
Okay, so we are on Appendix 4. Huh? Appendix 4, you have put an account statement direct from the bank, and it shows that your bank balance was 7,549,647 at on 31st December 2024 under community projects vote. But why is this amount as given by the bank different from the amount that was found and spent at 6,680 something?
CS?
Chair, on that one, let me ask Director Finance to clarify.
Director Finance?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, in terms of why we couldn't spend this money, like we have explained in the report, it's that the time the funding that we received, we had no space for us to exhaust the funding. Hence, the balance that we still had in the account. However, Chair, in terms of the project, like the explanation from the director engineering, it's dependent on claims. When we receive claims, that's when we pay. But when we have not received the claims, we cannot make any payment.
I've seen a strange situation where a lot of projects for 2023, 2024 were outstanding. And all of them. And this is the first council I wanted to come to mention this. I've seen a huge number of projects not completed. And the reasons we have given is that lack of funding from the ministry. Then the Director of Finance is here telling this committee that monies were sitting because there were no claims. Council Secretary, how do you explain these huge number of projects that were standing? Some of them up to now, from 2023, they are at 30, 45, some of them 2024 projects, they are at 90, 80% not completed. And the majority of them are to do with water. Why should a borehole be sunk and the contractor fails to do the finishings of concrete, or what do you call those, equipping a borehole, and also, Doc, what do you call that concrete they put around there? Director engineering, what do you call that?
Civil works, Chair.
Yes, without doing civil works. They sink a borehole, in certain cases they equip, but they don't do the civil works. And you have said that is because of lack of funding from the ministry. Then I can't reconcile with the statement that has come from the Director of Finance. First, CS, why is LUNTE failing to implement these projects? Two, if the statement that has come from Director of Finance is true, is it deliberate that you are not paying for these projects?
Chair, let me ask a specific question.
Yes.
You will forgive me in case it was raised because I had stepped out for a second. Chairman, when you look at their page 2, on the delayed completion of the so-called Kawila, and on there, they are saying that on block number 2, they are saying delayed funding. Chair, I didn't want to get it from them. This Kawila had started, and these days government says when you are funding a project, fund it to its completion. So this particular 1x2, they had started it. At what point did it lack funding?
Yes, just end there. Director Engineering through the CS.
Thank you, Chair, for that question. Actually, we had committed funds to this project, the same 748,000. So as of December, the time these funds were still in the account, IPCs were processed, and this contractor was paid in January for the works that they had done by then. So it was only later on, after we had disbursed the 7 million to other contractors, that we started claiming for funds from the ministry. As you know, some of those funds were mopped up. Hence the delayed in funding, the response from the ministry. Hence that bullet number 2.
Yeah, maybe, yes, let's go to page 10. This is a serious concern. Let's go to page 10, all of us. Appendix 3, community projects. We have a table there. Balance brought forward for 2023 projects, 13,486,297. Amounts received in 2024 for community projects. The balance brought forward from 2023 is about 13 million sitting in your accounts. Then you receive again 7,719,984. You had a total available funds of 21,206,281. From this, you only spent in 2024 15,315,942. Number of projects brought forward from 2023. You had 40 projects that were brought forward from 2023 to 2024. These are community projects, 40 of them. Then approved for the year 2024, you approved 23. In total projects 2024, you were supposed to implement 63 projects. What you completed in 2023 was only 34. 2024, you completed projects for 2023, 34. For 2024, 0. Total you did 23 at 34. Now, this is where my area, the area of interest, on the work in progress. For 2023 projects, work in progress was 5, were 5. 2024, 20. Total you are 25. Outstanding. 2023, one which was outstanding was 1. 2024, 3. Total. So when you look at this picture, CS and your team, what do you explain to the nation? Because these projects were identified by the people of LUNTE. They saw the need, and they were looking to their government to have these needs satisfied through the CDF, like it is happening in other councils. But you have so many projects not done. Some of them still outstanding from 2023. And some of them are, as I indicated earlier, you have borehole to sink a borehole. Not only one CS, a number of boreholes, but they can't be completed. And for sinking of a borehole, you even say that waiting for funds. What did you explain? Do the people of LUNTE appreciate the CDF with this picture, with this scenario? Do you think the people of LUNTE, or they're getting it just as a story when they hear other councils, other districts? Maybe you can take us through.
Chair, thank you for the concerns raised, the committee. When you go to, I think, the same page 10, Chair, and also our report, you see, Chair, that like the table on page 10, which you refer to, on the work in progress, like 2023 we had 5, then in 2024 we had 20, and then in total 25. And then in terms of outstanding, for 2023 we had 1 project which was outstanding, and then for 2024 we had 3 outstanding. So first let me deal with the outstanding projects. As we have reported, Chair, you will note that in 2023 we did refer to the issue of the loans and the bursaries not being utilized, I think even in our previous appearance before this committee. So those funds, after reconciliation, they were reallocated to new projects, so which had to undergo the processes required for them to get to implementation stage. So these now were, even if we reallocated and approved them in 2024 and had these contracts done, the year of funding is still 2023. And then 2024 also, there were a bit of funds that were reallocated also to new projects which were coming from either savings, from contracts that had been contracted, such as also the desks which we had referred to. So we had the new projects being born from the savings. And so these still, their funding reference is 2024. So you'll find that we have a number of projects that seem as if we did not execute them in the year when the funding was made, but these actually are coming due to either savings or failure to exhaust the entire allocation, like on the bursaries, and because we had the low uptake at that time. So in terms of the picture, you would note that actually we have implemented very viable projects which the people of LUNTE are appreciating, Chair, and we are trying to do all what is possible to ensure that every coin that the government releases sees itself in the community, and that's why we are bringing also new projects that are being born from the savings. Now, coming to the issue now that is being born of delayed funding, you would note, Chair, that on the 31st of March 2024, the government mopped the funds due to other fiscal policy that came in. So now we now reverted to a situation where funds had to be claimed from the center. Now, this is now where we have a situation. So we have a number of projects that we have ensured that they are born from the savings and so forth, but now the funds has to be claimed as and when the contractor has executed the certificate. And so now the delays that come in between here is where now we have been caught up. So we have the subsisting obligations to the contractors, but we do not have funds to pay them on time. And this now has actually been dragging on other projects to delayment. Otherwise, in terms of the implementation process by the council, we are doing all what is best to ensure that people appreciate, and indeed they are appreciating, and even the money that is being saved is being reallocated to the need areas of the community, Chair.
Okay, assuming, I hear you, assuming that we assume that the 2023 or 2024 projects, and a project has a time limit, basically a time limit does not go beyond, I don't know what type of a project it is. It doesn't go beyond 4 months. Sometimes it's 2 months. Now from 2024, this is 2026, you still have projects that are 2024, they are at 30%, 45%. How do you explain that? What is the cost implication on the project? Is it at the same cost, or it has increased? And if so, who is the cause? Do we have the capacity in the council to monitor and ensure that projects are done within the time frame?
Thank you, Chair. I'll refer you to the same thing I've said, Chair. So let me go to the table. I think there should be a project number 4, construction and installation of water reticulation system at Nkuka Primary School. That's on page 11, Chair, on the table. I think this is one of the projects that has a low,
Yes, 30%.
yes, 30%.
The other one on top is number 3 is 45%.
Yes. So, Chair, you would note that this project is coming from reallocated funds. So it is a new project, but funds coming from reallocation under 2020.
I agree with you, CS. Sorry to cut you. To cut you. I agree with you. So for how long is this project going to take? Whether it is reallocation, you allocated, assuming it was done in 2024 or in 2025.
That's a worry which we have, Chair. However, our engagement with the ministry, as you can see on one of the evidence that we have provided regarding the funding that may not have come through.
As we wind up,
they have assured us the funds will be released in time. And so we hope as soon as these funds are coming through, we should be able to execute most of these projects.
Quick one. CS, your mic.
Thank you, Chair. Just a quick one on the projects on
Page.
the same page. What? Page 10. Page 10.
Okay.
Page 10. The work in progress, outstanding projects. So one of the work in progress projects was rehabilitation of roads. That is 20 kilometers. It is project number 5. Rehabilitation of 20 kilometers of roads. The delay in completion was as a result of delays in funding. The project has since been completed within the contractual time frame. Is this 20 kilometers one stretch or spread in different parts of LUNTE? Because this, I think, is very important for the people of LUNTE to verify that 20 kilometers of road has been done in LUNTE. These roads, was it done by a contractor? Because here you are saying the project has since been completed within the contractual time frame, which means there was a contractor or not. When you answer about a contractor, then I'll give just a quick follow-up question.
Yes.
Chair, I must make a correction there. I think we should indicate within the time frame. Of course, Chair, we did use contractor, but these were just supply of gravel. So those were contracted for a period. They dump gravel, and then we were able to spread the gravel using the equipment that we had bought.
Yes, you are not doing very well in terms of project management. This is our observation, and this has deprived the people of LUNTE the much needed services. If you look at the report, you have articulated very well the reasons behind all these, but if you look at it, basically very little is happening in LUNTE looking at this report. It's quite strange. Projects such as water reticulation, digging a borehole, cannot be commissioned. Roads, as stated by Dr. Mwanza, cannot. You need to look at this. The public there is watching. The public have been watching and following. These other councils are doing very well. But in terms of progress and work at LUNTE, director engineering, this is on your head. Planner and procurement. You are supposed to help. Council secretary, take interest. These are the people who can make you succeed or fall. You have a very good track record. Some of us have been following you. But if this is the report, the basis for your assessment, then it's your standing. So, Dr. Mwanza, on account of time, I want, if I'm giving you a minute, beat.
Chair, this is 20 kilometers of roads. And the model that the Council Secretary is talking about is quite interesting. He's saying people were supplying gravel. And they use the machinery that they procured. When you look at the expenditure on Appendix 1 of that 2,600,000 that was unspent funds under community projects, there are some payments here towards the roads of gravel road of Mukupa, Kaoma, and Luwingu Road.
Those payments are towards what?
Towards the road, and there's even some other payment which is saying I will fish it out. It is talking about.
I thought you were ready, Doc. I gave you that
being
opportunity.
Payment for grading of Mukupa Road to Kia Resources Limited. The payment was made on 28 January 2025.
What's the narration? Is that a payment voucher?
It is a ledger.
A ledger.
Yes, which
CS, as you indicated, what services were you paying to that contractor? Is it gravel or what?
It's a gravel, Chair.
No, it's grading. The description is very clear. It's on the
CS, let's move to the same.
It's on the third page of your balance sheet for the 2,608,000. They're showing exactly how they spent the money. Now, here, the payments that you see on the second page. Now, the third page, the second row, the payment made on 28 January 2025. Payment made on 28 January 2025 to Kia Resources Limited. It was being payment for grading of Mukupa Road. Then, the same road, a payment made on 25th January 2025, interim payment number 1, supply and delivery of brand new tipper truck. So after you bought this tipper truck, but then there's another place, another time now you hired 2 trucks, 2 tipper trucks. And
okay,
then,
listen there. Yeah. Just to confirm, you told this committee that the payments you were using your machinery, what you were just contracting was for people to supply gravel. And yet here, in our report, it shows that you even contracted someone to do grading. Then again, you are saying no, but what's the narration? Can you read that narration?
Yes, Chair. Since you've sought my clarification, Chair, I must indicate that our narration in terms of what is recorded in the ledger is not accurate, and I apologize, Chair, because Kia was contracted. We hired tipper trucks to supply gravel, and we used our grader to spread and our compactor to compact.
Thank you. Since you have apologized, the next time, be careful. As you put up these reports, be careful. Check every detail. So, in conclusion, go and work on these projects. Can you complete all these projects, those which are 98%? What is that 2%? We want that done so that the people of LUNTE can see the benefit. We have noted with concern. We have been looking at councils. LUNTE in terms of project, the people are not benefiting. So you as officers, you should help your government. Be proactive. Don't come with such reports anymore. So we wish you well as you go back. Go and put your house in order. Director engineering. Director planning, you're critical. Director finance, The ministry has said that when money comes, whatever money is there, use it until the government funds more. I can give you an example of my own council. You can call them. By yesterday, they only had 25,000 kwacha in their accounts. I told them, can you clear what is there? And they've paid. So I'm sure within a few days, the ministry will be releasing more money. And when the money is released, you take to pay those who are working. The IPCs, clear them. More money comes from the ministry, clear. Why should we have LUNTE only, which will be indicating that, because of funds, that's why we cannot complete a project which has 98%. Clear those, and even those which are 45%, 30%, pay them so that the people can enjoy the services. With that said, I would like to withdraw the immunity that was earlier conferred on you. We wish you well as you go back to LUNTE. Please go and do a good job. Thank you very much.
Well, there you have it. LUNTE Town Council, led by their Council Secretary, Mr. Jonathan Mwanse, have made their appearance before the Committee on Local Government Accounts. And this is on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the Constituency Development Fund for the financial year ended 31st December 2024. And the committee, through the chairperson, has noted with concern on the persistent weaknesses in administration, monitoring and financial management. Some key issues raised do include discrepancies in financial data and a lack of supporting evidence, delayed and poorly managed construction of projects, and unspent balances and poor loan recovery, among others. And the committee, through the chairperson, has guided LUNTE Town Council to strengthen their project monitoring and contract accountability, enhance financial management and internal controls, and also improve grant and loan monitoring recovery. And so that's what the committee has noted. And just now we do stand by for the next witness, and we do expect Luwingu Town Council to make an appearance before the Committee on Local Government Accounts. Keep watching Parliament Television.
Wanawada is never this late.
She just called. She said that she'll be here in 5 minutes. She went for the inspection of the register of voters.
Oh, what's that about?
The Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, is conducting physical inspection of the provisional register of voters for the 2026 general election.
Sorry, I'm late. I went to verify and inspect my details in the register of voters.
The inspection of the register of voters is on. The Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, is conducting a nationwide physical inspection of the provisional register